So in the last class we are seeing verse number 29, if I am right. यथा प्रदीप्तं ज्वलन्तं पतङ्गाः विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगाः तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकाः तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः. So we saw this Kala Tattvam, or we have been seeing, better word, this Kala Tattvam or Laya Karta as Ishvara. So while seeing this, in the last class we saw two examples. So one example was spring, a river meeting ocean. Means the river origin is not from mountain, but origin is from ocean. And again it goes back to the ocean. We saw in details. So that means where one comes goes back. And second example, the verse number 29, we also saw how this moth or insects gets attracted towards the light and finally they are destroyed. So when we look at these two, we come to a conclusion that from Avyakta to Vyakta, on manifestation to manifestation, again going back to on manifestation is a cycle, unless the person understands. So that's why the person has to understand more, and the more when the person understands, the more the person will be able to accept. Why I am highlighting this point? So that we can see 2-3 verses together if possible. I am hoping so, because every time we are very slow. When you look at this Kala Tattva, the time concept, generally we look at a time concept in two standpoints. One is from the standpoint of Vyavahara. So Vyavahara means a transactional level. The time concept from the transactional level. Here when we look at this transactional level, so there is opposites. Like if there is a birth, there has to be death. If there is association, there has to be dissociation. If something comes, has to go. So all sort of pairs of opposites has to remain. So that is called Vyavaharika Satya. In transactional truth, this has to exist. So when this exists, what should we do? We need to accept both. But generally what happens to us? So do we accept both or only we accept one? So whatever is convenient, that only we accept. Correct? Only I want association, not dissociation. Or sometimes I want only dissociation, not association. So I want to run away, not get in. Sometimes I want to only get in, not run away. So I want to be always born, but not die. You understand? Or I want to die, but death doesn't come. So The Paramarth, see, one is Vyavaharika Satyam, one has to learn to accept both. That's why if one gets married, learns better. I'm not telling you jokes. Once you married, you don't have any choice. And that too, one more thing added is if you have child, okay? That's all. Because now in this modern days, what they do is, they can get rid of wife, husband, whatever. But child, you cannot get rid of unless you are crazy, okay? There are some men and women also, they get rid of their children, okay? That's another level. Let us not talk. So, in Vyavaharika Satyam, in transactional truth, there is always opposite of, there are opposites. So when there are opposites, we don't have any other choice other than accepting or learning to accept both. Is it clear? Whereas in Paramarthika Satyam, the truth from the absolute standpoint, there is no pairs of opposites. But I want to make it clear. There is no birth, there is no death. There is no loss, there is no gain. There is no association, there is no dissociation. Because from absolute standpoint, this doesn't exist. So there what happens is, you don't have to again accept anything. So that means in Vyavaharika Satyam, you have to gracefully accept both. That's why surrender comes. So with reference to Vyavaharika Satyam, transactional truth, one has to learn to accept both. Only it can happen with reference to surrender. If surrender is not there, you cannot accept both. But you will be accepting the way you want, like how this Arjuna was accepting. He expected everybody should be alive except whom? Karna. You understand? Sutaputra. He used the word Sutaputra. Son of that charioteer. You understand? So, here what we need to look at. First to appreciate or to jump from Vyavaharika Satyam to Paramarthika Satyam, absolute truth, one has to learn to accept both in Vyavaharika Satyam, transactional world, where surrender is must. Because why we are not able to surrender also, if we try to look at, I was looking at today morning, because how this ahankara and mamakara comes. And especially when ahankara and mamakara comes, I always point out others and advise others. It's a dangerous part. How? Let us look at this way. If you observe the brain, I don't know why I am getting into this, okay, psychological thing today. So if you look at the brain is created in time. And it is designed in such a way, it is created in such a way, it can protect itself physically. That's why if you look at medically, the way brain is being kept, it's not that easy. You have got a very good helmet, okay, stronger than so-called helmets, okay. Don't think, in spite of that happens, okay, forget, okay. So the brain has got capacity to protect itself physically, but not psychologically. Remember this point very carefully. Brain has got capacity to protect itself physically, but not psychologically. So when you work, or I would rather say brain works to protect itself psychologically, there the association with the brain creates more complication in life. Is it clear? That's why the more the brain wants to protect itself psychologically, the more problem happens in a relationship. So relationship is nothing but a vyavaharika satyam. Please remember. You can say Brahman, Atman, everything is Brahman, Atman. So after all, food is Brahman. Okay? Then don't eat. Annam Brahma. Keep quiet. It's not going to work. So that person fails in a relationship. Remember this point very carefully. Or that time you become failure, or you make complication, or things gets complicated in a relationship when brain wants to protect itself psychologically. Clear? And the more you try to protect brain psychologically, the more it becomes unprotected and vulnerable. And that is what happens to people. That's why here understanding Kala Tattvam, understanding Layakarta as Ishvara helps us to surrender, to accept, including allowing the brain to take care of itself physically but not psychologically. So with this background, let us look at few verses, okay? Leliyase grasamana samantat lokan samagran badaneir juladvi tejo virapurya jagat samagram Vasat subogra pratapanti Vishnu. Says, look, this Kala Tattva continues. How grasamanaha samagran lokan samantat joladvihi badanaihi. Okay, if I tell you, see, as I start reading, you are supposed to look at the text so that you will understand, okay? Or else difficult. Let us not get into it. So, grasamanaha. So, what happens? Now you, grasamana, swallowing. So, swallowing what? Samagran loka. The entire. So, loka means here, you can say all the people you start swallowing. All the world also. And not only that, samantat. Samantat means from all the direction, from everywhere. How? Joladvihi badanaihi. So your mouth is with jwalan, means with blazing fire. So that means what? Swallowing the whole world with people, that too from every side, you are doing with your blazing fire. So in the mouth there is blazing fire and you keep swallowing it. And not only that, leliyase, that's a beautiful point. So leliyase means it's not that forcefully you are doing it, not that painfully you are doing it. Leliyase, you are, licking, you are releasing doing this thing. How you bring the tongue out and start licking your lips. Come. I want to do it more. Let me. Everything is putting it inside, okay? So that means you are enjoying this process. And apuriya samagra jagat tejobhihi tava iti tava ugra bhasa. And not only that, okay, you are swallowing, you are doing all these things. Still you are not living. It's like, when somebody dies, nearby people cry, but they don't die. So they get little bit, jerk. After some time they forget, okay, don't worry. They enjoy, in fact, okay. So, like, one small joke is there, okay. Ladies should not feel bad, okay. It's a lady joke because a man has written, okay. So that's a joke on woman. So we have to respect here in this regard, okay, nothing else. So nothing to feel bad. So in one religion, there is very strict rule that woman must be very devoted to the men, including after death. So man can marry any number, but woman cannot. So a lot of restrictions are there. And this woman, okay, what else to do? So the man died. After death, so they buried. And those days, it was they have to put this mud at earth. So every day the lady goes and takes a hand fan, and starts fanning the place where the mud was being kept and the dead body was there. So everybody got shocked. What is this? Look, what sort of devotion this lady has. Even if after death, even if the person is lying down, rest in peace, okay, resting in the peace, still the lady is fanning. How much she is really caring and loving. So 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. So one curious young man could not resist, went and asked her, what are you doing? Already he is dead, he is no more. Why are you wasting your time and fanning it? He said, who said I am wasting my time? Means you are fanning because I allow it. Why? Already he is dead, he is no more. He said, not that I am fanning for himself, for his sake. Then, because we have a saying, as long as this coffin or this place is not dried, that long I cannot marry. That's why I am fanning, so that let the earth dry as quick as possible, so that I can get married. So, joke apart. Here, say that not only all these people are enter what? Also your heat, that rays that is very hot, scorching hot sunlight, piercing rays, that is also spreading all over the world, all over. And it is warning, O Vishnu, O Vyapakatvatiti, O all-pervasive one. So that means you are not sparing anybody. So that means when this comes, this Kala Tattvam takes over, it doesn't leave anything. It literally destroys. Continuing, so that nothing much. Next one will say. Akhya hime ko bhavanugropo namostute devavara praseda vigyatamichhami bhavantamadyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. Now here comes some sensible point. The conflict in Arjuna. So what is that? When a person is being brought up in a atmosphere, in a situation, grown up religiously, knows as what? Lord always is what? Bhagavan, the Ishvara is what? Mangala Karakam. Brings auspiciousness, causes auspiciousness. Daya Murti, embodiment of compassion. Kshama Murti, embodiment of forgiveness. Saumyam, very pleasing. So that's why in every religion, that is how God is being portrayed. Nowhere God is portrayed Ugram, except in Hinduism, like Narasimha. That's why we say very nicely, if you have a lot of problem, so do this Narasimha Kavacham. That takes care of it. So when there is some difficulties, a lot of difficulties, you can so do, there is a Kavacham, there is a mantra on Narasimha. Really, it takes care of it. Especially Lakshmi Narasimha Kavacham takes care of better. And if it doesn't work, suppose like for example, Shani, Saturn related things. So you can take care, you can pray the Ugra Rupam of Hanuman. However, let me not get into. So here, what he says that we know the Ishvara is Saumyam, pleasing. But here I am seeing entirely different. It's Ugram. Now there is a confusion in me. What is this? Now he says, Akhyayi meko bhavan Ugra Rupaha Kaha bhavan. Who are you? Now I have this basic question. Who are you indeed? And especially seeing this Ugra Rupa with this fearful, fierce form. So ferocious you are that we have seen, discussed, like everybody is coming, somebody's head is inside, leg is outside and getting crossed and whatnot. And some of them get stuck and the teeth is so sharp. Oh, mamma mia. It's not a joke. Even if in a sleep also, you will have this sort of dream, okay? Not joke, not an easy thing. Says, look, now, Akhyayime, please tell me. I need to know now. Hey Devavara, O Supreme Lord. Namaha astu, my salutation to you. Namaha, namastute, namaha astute, my salutation to you. Prasiddha ichhami vigyatum. Now please be gracious to me. Why? Vigyatum ichhami, I desire to know. So what I desire to know? Adyam hi na prajanami tava pravrittim. Bhavantam adyam. So about you. And what is that adyantam? The primary one. The premier one. Not only that, I don't know also your pravrittim, your functioning. There is a confusion in me. Because I know you are good. I know everything is great. But now suddenly I see what? All this Ugra Rupa, ferocious form. That's why, who are you with this form? So hopefully, devil has not get in, okay? This is my addition, okay? In other religion, they'll say, oh, this is the devil's form. Hey, devil is part of God, okay? If the devil is excluded from the totality, that means what? Totality is not totality either. If you say God is totality, and how can devil stand apart from totality? Okay, that is a big problem, okay? So that's why he says, look, sing this thing, oh Lord, my salutations to you. So I bend down. There is a fear in me now, okay? I bend down. My salutations to you. Please be gracious. Indirectly, calm down, okay? Be gracious. Enough. I desire to know you, your Adi, your beginning. And of course, I am not able to know your functioning, your pravritti. So now when you look at this aspect, that means it's very clear. Arjuna is getting more and more confused while looking at Laya, the dissolution. Because as we discussed from the beginning, that if Divya Chakshu does not come by effort, if it is borrowed, if it is given, it is going to create some issues. So what is Divya Chakshu? Divya Chakshu is nothing. A special attitude that is supposed to come out of understanding. So what is that attitude? The attitude of less of ahankara and mamakara. Sense of me and mine. Whereas if this attitude does not come from understanding, because if it has to come understanding, there are a lot of processes, lot of preparation. It is a growth, gradual growth. But it can come, this attitude, temporarily by the grace of someone like Vyasa Maharshi, a rishi, a sage, a siddha, a guru can give, like Vyasa gave to Sanjaya. Or Ishvara also can give, like Krishna has bestowed these to Arjuna. Whereas when this set of borrowed attitude comes, I would rather say borrowed attitude comes, it is very conditional. Like in your day-to-day life, you also develop attitude. Conditional attitude. Because generally I go through that in my life, okay? So, like yesterday, one incident went, I was just laughing. So when the person wants to abuse you, abuses the way you want. And when it is useful, again, when the person again, somebody, or like again I become, they need, I am in use, so then what happens? Swamiji, namaste, you must forgive us. After all, we are ignorant. And all these things is prarabdham. They will teach you that time also, okay? And what poor Swami has to say? True, true, true. Because you cannot say anything. What can you say? Again, after some time, when the person is talking, don't think that the person will be continuously good with me. No. Again, after a matter of some time, if their interest is not being addressed because they are talking to me, there is some purpose. If that purpose is not being fulfilled or not fulfilled the way they want, how long will it take again to talk against me? To abuse me? It's just a matter of time. So this attitude comes based on your conditionings. Can you see this point? And how it happens? Because of ahankara and mamakara. Remember this point. Moreover, if you see that you are a fluctuating personality, please make a point. If you see that you are a fluctuating personality, that means your ahankara and mamakara is strong. The stronger the ahankara and mamakara in you, the quicker you will fluctuate in your life. So the fluctuation happens in keeping with, relationship with, or oneness with, or attachment towards my ahankara and mamakara. And based on that, attitude is developed. Like we do, especially in India nowadays. So all this new year is coming, is a ice breaking with this, I'll stop it. So how to please people? So carry one diary. Go and meet, hand over diary, boss or whoever, namaste, how are you, and all these things back. So what is the purpose? So there is an attitude you develop for a purpose. Can you see this point? And that attitude is not healthy. It does not come out of understanding. Remember this point. If attitude does not come from understanding, this words or attitude has no value neither for you nor for others. And this is very clearly known, especially in a relationship between mother and child. Every moment the child will come up with a new idea how to change the mind of the mother. Have you not seen? Father, because from a distance with mother. New ideas, new stories, new things. Mother will be sometimes laughing, smiling, but cannot say, no. But deep within, okay, my child is growing, able to fool me, okay? But mother doesn't care. So when mother doesn't care, don't say that, Mother doesn't care your stupidity. Mother doesn't care you don't say that. Because of your ahankara, because of your mamakara, your mother itself doesn't like. So that's why you have to be very clear and careful in this regard. So this is a relationship. However, so how this relationship works, one has to see. And especially, more you understand the Kala Tattva, the more relationship becomes better. How? Quick. When you know you are going to die tomorrow. Just when you know you are going to die tomorrow, will you fight with anybody? At least somebody knows that you are going to die tomorrow. What is the guarantee? You may die now. Any moment I can die. Death is any moment. More of it. We'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.